You're listening to a main feed episode. Go to patreon.com/Celtic Ligers where €5 a month gets you weekly full-length episodes, stray bonus content and access to the back catalogue. Also helps cover hosting and gives us money for sweeties. Thank you. Celtic Ligers.
Recorded 10th of July 2025.
Recording. Okay. Hello. Welcome to the Ligers show. James was late. Very late.
Not that late. What time did I say? 6?
You said half 5.
To 6.
Yeah, and it's 6:17. I'll give you those 3 minutes. It was almost 6:20.
Have you been sitting there staring at the screen?
Pretty much, actually, yeah.
Well,
but I'm all right. I'm not too sore about it. I was just looking up. I tweeted out something about American politics, then thought against it and deleted it. The heat is still here. The reason that we're recording again after we recorded yesterday because it was too fucking hot and we were both cooked. And I'm not talking about our chances in whatever. And so I'm still getting cooked. My brain is still fried from everything. I just am sweating. Elsa, her head, James has it.
Yeah. Poor Elsa. I forgot this is what happens to toys.
Yeah. You haven't watched any of the subsequent Toy Story movies? That's what they're all about.
I've only seen the first one. Scared the life out of me. So,
yeah, that was a pretty scary movie now, in all fairness.
The freaking dinosaur.
Oh, yeah. Well, honestly, I was actually scared by that baby head on the fucking, what were they called? The Meccano, do you know?
Yeah, you always see it on Reddit. It's like, this face when you get it. And then, anyway, it's what's the kid's name? Sid. Short for Insidious. And
nice.
Here's the baby on the head, baby on the legs, and then the doll with the hook. And everyone's like, that's a hooker.
Yeah.
Do you remember the doll legs with the hook?
Yeah, well, with the fishing rod body, isn't it?
Yeah, a hook. A fishing hook.
Yeah. By the way, how's your fishing going?
I don't know why I brought it up. I shouldn't have said anything.
You're still fishing though, aren't you?
Well, yeah. My therapist said if I catch a fish, send him a picture.
And you're back at the therapist. This is news. There's so much news. Is it a new guy?
I have a new therapist. Yeah, this one's not a horse. Not a horse. Or not a jockey.
It's not a horse guy. And he doesn't say that it's my responsibility to do certain X, Y, and Z. You know?
Yeah. He just goes, that is so unfair whenever I say anything.
Yeah. That sounds like their problem.
Yeah. I'd love a therapist like that.
Yeah.
Did they really say that?
I know a few people who had therapists that were just enabling all sorts of terrible behavior. So it turns out you can get bad ones too out there.
Yeah.
Or good, depending on your perspective.
Yeah. Have you ever had a therapist that was enabling you,
Have I ever had one that was doing that?
Yeah. Except me.
Yeah. And that's what this podcast is. It's therapy. Do you know that Mark Maron used to get annoyed when people said that his podcast was like therapy? Because he was like, no, therapy is its own thing and it's a process. I was like, if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, oh, all right, if people get something out of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
People who believe in therapy too much.
Yeah.
I don't like them. I feel like my therapist doesn't even believe in therapy that much. For better or for worse.
Well, I don't like it when it becomes like a cult thing, like when Jonah Hill did that documentary with his therapist.
Yeah. Did you watch that?
No. But I just
He's
don't...
sort of...
Like, yeah.
forces therapists into doing it.
Really?
Yeah, like you think about it and you're sort of like, oh, the therapist manipulated him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's sort of like, I kept asking my therapist to do this and he kept saying no. And then he got Parkinson's. I know the implication is like he needs the money, but there's an implication of like, you know, this chap's on his way out.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Well, I was also kind of commenting on like the glut of therapy shows, or the people who were like, have you heard the good news? And then they've like incorporate therapy into whatever they're doing. One of the biggest examples would be the Pickle Rick episode, Rick and Morty, you know, like where it's like,
yeah,
it's just like, I went to a therapist because I don't know, I guess I'm a writer in LA and I can afford like to spend like $60 an hour per week, maybe more, to try and sort out all my shit of like people were mean to me in high school. And then that's the second thing I write about actually is all the people that were mean to me in high school. And yeah,
there is a certain type of person that goes to therapy and gets worse, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, maybe I should be a therapist.
You should be a therapist, and I've said this before, and I really think you should pursue that. And I think you should use the bad therapist as inspiration, by the way. I'm always of like with films and TV, I'm not inspired by good ones. I'm inspired by bad ones because I'm like, oh, if they got it made, do you know what I mean? Then that means I can get it made. So I think like the idea of going like, oh, it's too much responsibility meddling with somebody's head. And it's like, there are so many worse people who are doing it out there. You know? Like,
therapy's easy. You just go, how does it make you feel? You know?
Actually, don't even do that. As we've seen from all the popular sitcoms from the late 90s, early 2000s, you just sit there and do nothing. And then eventually the person unravels in front of you. That was a popular gag in all of this of like,
yeah,
the therapist isn't even saying anything and they're acting like it's profoundly changing them, you know?
Yeah. I'm going to try right now.
Do you think I'm going to break? I'm not going to break.
Yeah. You can sit there looking at me like my dad. What?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Who I want to kill so that I can marry my mother. I think I heard that. Isn't that what that is?
That's exactly what that is.
All
and
right.
you have to gouge out your own eyes.
Did you ever watch Peep Show, didn't you?
Yeah.
Have you though?
I've seen all the Peep Show.
Have you now? Why don't I believe you? Why don't I believe you at all?
Come on, Dobby.
Okay. All right. Slow down. Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were a super fan.
Yeah, or should I say Superman is my favorite character, Superman.
Yeah, you're a super fan. So.
Yeah.
But do you know the bit where like Mark goes to therapy, but then the guy, he doesn't want it to be called therapy. He like has a meltdown at work and he doesn't get a promotion. He goes into the boss's office and pisses all over his desk.
Oh yeah.
And then
it has been a while since I watched it. I have watched it, but
but he starts getting, he's like, you're not going to therapize me or whatever. I can't remember it because it's a long time since I watched it. But you know, he's been shown the Rorschach test and he's like, just tell me the first image. No, tell the first thing that you see, okay, or the first thing that comes to mind when I say this word, you know. And he goes like, money, everything, not everything. Okay. Don't hesitate. Just say the first thing that comes to your mind, all right? And here, I'm going to show you these ink blot drawings. And then he shows us the Rorschach test. And then it's like, what do you see when I show you this? And it's like, a big, hungry, devouring twat, you
know? There's the episode where they eat the dog, famously.
Yeah. You can't see James's face just got a little brighter. Second screen opened up somewhere.
There's the one where Mark's sister rapes Jeremy.
That's mixing up two episodes.
How?
Mark's sister and Jeremy have a sexual relationship, but Mark is raped by Jeremy's, I guess, stepsister.
A Mark gets raped?
Yeah.
That's much worse.
Yeah. Ugh.
You'll have a harder time getting over it. Like.
Yeah. That's what it provides, more opportunity for comedy, and that's what very.
There's one where
so funny. Just to, nobody can see. I'm holding a microphone, so I'm not going to do the clap. Oh, very funny. Rape, yeah. I guess.
Mark.
Yeah.
Funny
it is Jeremy. A little funny.
I like the one where Jeremy or Jezza and Superman started a band with Sophie's brother, who's sort of autistic.
yeah. Actually, that was Sophie's cousin.
Sorry.
No, but it is funny that you should say that, because they visit like Sophie's parents and then they meet her brother, okay? And you think that they're setting him up to idolize Jeremy, okay? And then I don't know if it's the same season or the next season, but then a completely different character shows up who is identical in personality and sort of in appearance to the brother, but now it's her cousin because it's played by a different actor.
Right.
And I'm just wondering why they even bothered. Could they just not go like, this is our brother now, just deal with it?
Yeah. And then they have the thing where it's like, who would you rather suck off, me or Jeremy?
Yeah.
And then he only bloody goes and does it.
Does it to Superman. But I love it, which by the way, I'm really looking forward to. I'm seeing it tomorrow, Friday night.
The spin-off.
Superman.
Here's his own movie now. That'll be good.
Yeah. Who will he suck off in this one? Huh?
Yeah. Do you remember when he stole a Harry Hill line? I was flipping out that day. I was raging.
Super Hands.
Yeah.
When was that?
He goes, crack is very Moorish.
Oh, is that a...
And Harry Hill famously said, I love heroin, but it's a little bit Moorish.
Ooh, I didn't know that. That's funny. I love that stuff. It is funny that, like, you know when Stuart Lee got really upset about Joe Pasquale stealing the joke off of Michael Redmond? Yeah. And it's almost like, I think it's one of those jokes where it felt like the sell-by date was passed on it, almost, do you know? Yeah, like it's... Like his whole thing was like, you know, Michael Redmond, if you saw him standing in your garden, you go, what are you doing? Yeah. Standing in my garden. Whereas if you saw Joe Pasquale. Yeah. He goes, Joe Pasquale standing in my garden. Yeah. I never thought the difference between those two comedians was big enough. You know, like I don't know how famous Joe Pasquale is, but like, I feel like 90% of people in England wouldn't know. I feel like he was big for during that time when they did that. His career was on the wane, but he was big because I remember him. It would famously be he'd be like the Michael McIntyre of his day. He was that big, was he? People can message Michael in. Michael McIntyre read more than any Premier League footballer. Because look where Michael McIntyre is now. Do you know what I mean? Dead. But he doesn't command the same audience that he once did, does he, Michael McIntyre? Do you remember people used to think he was gay? Yeah. And Chinese. And he looks like a Tory. Oh, we're giving him pejoratives. Just kidding. I would say that more Tories are black than Chinese. More... That's true. You can take that to the bank. I was going to say West Asian. Of England. The current leader of the Tory party. Yeah. Kemi Badenoch. The minister for the minister for the Exchequer. What do they call him?
You know they have a word for master?
What do they
Under
call
Liz
that?
Truss.
The Chancellor?
Yeah, Chancellor of the Exchequer under Liz Truss.
Who was that again? Kwasi
I can't remember his
Kwarteng?
name.
Does that make sense?
I don't know.
I think it was Kwasi Kwarteng.
Yeah. There's two.
Yeah,
And there's definitely some more.
there's definitely some more.
And then they won
Asian.
Han Chinese.
Name one Chinese
Tory.
heritage Tory.
Go ahead. I'll wait.
I mean, it ain't my... I don't pay attention to politics that closely. I know, I guess that's a lie.
Yes,
I do.
you do.
I should know. I should know.
You knew Kenny Badenoch's name and the other
Yeah, Kwasi Kwarteng. That one surprised even me that I knew that one. I was actually brimming with names. I was just like, oh, I can't, thinking about all of the backbench. The very diverse benches of the Tory party. It's exceptionally diverse, like it's crazy.
And then you have like in Labour, it was like just Diane Abbott, who they mercilessly bully. Racistly.
Alan Mack.
Alan Mack, the big man himself.
Yeah, Tory
Mack
party.
is back.
Is he still there? Yeah, he is.
For where?
For where? She doesn't know.
I'll
Huh?
look him up.
Haven't, she says. And I was like, you haven't what? These guys and their names.
Yeah, I haven't that.
Oh.
I'm going to move closer to the router, okay?
Huh?
I'm going to move closer to the router because I can feel a lag.
Okay. I thought you were like, I'm going to go to the toilet. I'm like, are you for real? You started
Already?
straight away and you're fucking abandoning ship less than 15 minutes in? Actually, it's about 17, but whatever. How's my audio? Is it any good?
What?
Okay, not responding.
It's fine.
Is my audio any good? Okay, fine. What's to talk about? Let's see. I have 2 things to talk about. 3. I'm leaving that's all staying in. All staying in. I have more about the Corbyn party that he's starting up.
What are you doing now?
What? There's a guy, Gabriel Pogrund. It's just going to be a little bit of a repetition of what we talked about in the previous episode, which prompted a funny comment from one of our patrons, Niall, who said gets a bit of BBC money. I'm not going to quote it verbatim, but it was very funny. It made me laugh to beat the band. He gets a bit of BBC money and suddenly Corbyn is a prick. And then stroking chin emoji. I think. That's me remembering it. But Niall, very good. I can take a joke as well as the next person. Although I do think you were dealing in some tropes, and I was seeing a worrying rise of anti-Semitism in the comment section on the Celtic Ligers. I want to say that Israel has a right to defend herself, okay? And to make up for some of the comments of our so-called patrons, I will say that my half of the money this month will be going towards... It's a noble cause, and it's to pay the maintenance men who work on the robots that suck off dead IDF soldiers.
Yeah. It's to get them some new rubber tubing for their mouth.
No, they need to get smaller rubbers, because it turns out the ones they had was too big.
Here we go.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. But
I see, man.
I see where you're
dick is
going.
Small.
They dick be small. Do you think that's Ebonics that I'm doing there?
Well, I did it first, so no.
Can you tell me though, like, so today Zainab told me that Lena Dunham was on like the campaign trail for something, okay? And she said that when people go after her, she's like a peaceful person, except when people go after her cast members, and then she takes the hoops out or something like that. Is that essentially it?
Yeah, she's essentially saying she's gonna take the hoops out.
She's gonna take the hoops out. But anyway. And people were like, oh, she's like culturally appropriating stuff. Do you think that's cultural appropriation? I know she's a rich white lady, you know, but like, I feel like that's kind of.
I think it's just a phrase.
It's just something like, isn't that like the brilliant melting pot of culture where we're all just taking little bits and pieces?
Like
you know?
What culture is it supposed to be? Ballymun?
Yeah. Oh wait, you thought it was Black America? Oh, right. Well, I guess your prejudice is showing. Because people be taking their hoops out in Ballymun as well.
Yeah.
They do be doing
constantly.
that.
Constantly.
They do be doing that in my gaff. You know? Are yous going to... You know, I'm trying to think of
I
other...
love that guy. The other one was like... nothing like a spice bag. I can't do any accents, even a posh one. Can't even do my own. But the other fella was a spice bag, and he's like, I'll just do my voice. That's perfectly suitable for this. And he's like, nothing like a spice bag, and out in the town, your power it.
Yeah. There you go.
Don't lie, boys. There's nothing better than going to the rising sun for a spice bag just before heading into Spiral. Yup, Albert.
Oh, I love that. Oh, yeah, we forgot to plug your show again. 16th of July, one-off. James Moran, stand-up special, Pearse Centre. Be there, be square. €7 in if you're unemployed or unwaged, or if you're like a fucking scrote. If you're a scrote, it's €7 if you're a fucking scrounger. If you're 10, it's 10 if you contribute
get
to
up
society.
Early in the morning.
Yeah.
You get up before.
Yeah, if you get up early in the morning, then it's 10. And we salute you. And if you're a small business owner, then it's 20. And we know that you appreciate that, okay?
Yeah. We also had the socialist reading groups this week.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go? Better?
No. Well, okay, so it's called Saints and Scholars. There's 3 a week, every second week, and then there's a film club. For the schedule, you can get it on saintsandscholars.club.
Mm-hmm.
First one, military and neutrality. Really good attendance. That's in Connolly Books. The environment. One person turned up and I knew them. But still a good discussion.
Yeah.
So it was me, the other person, the other 3 organisers. So there's 5 of us.
Yeah.
It's a project of education.
Yeah.
He said. And then
yeah.
Care of the Community, that one is on this Saturday morning. 10 a.m.
That was good.
But,
Care in the Community.
So on average, they've been going well.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a lot of fucking people out there couldn't give fucking 2 shits about the climate.
What? Yeah, I've been trying to figure out why the climate is the least attended.
Yeah.
And I don't. It can't be me, because not everybody knows me. So there must be another dimension. I feel like the other 2, military neutrality, care of the community, they're just a bit less homeworky.
I think that the environment and climate, it feels very stat heavy and also hard to contextualize with our day-to-day lives. And once you're done with it, it feels very hopeless, you know?
One thing we've been trying to do is like locate each discussion in something in Ireland. So like the one yesterday was about land ownership. the Commons and Lough Neagh, you know?
Yeah.
So we were talking about, like, is it right that this one fellow in Lough Neagh, and what are ways of combating this, you know?
Yeah, that sounds great.
It's a bit less hopeless than, like, you know, the Kyoto Agreement in 2000 signed up to the 1.5 agreement, and everyone is ignoring that, you know what I mean?
Or like the polar bears are fucked even if we start now. Like, but we might keep one, you know. Just like
yeah, fuck the polar bears. What have they ever done?
I also think that people get really burnt out on the climate because it's just so broad, really, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's why I've been trying to make it a bit more specific, you know?
Yeah. I remember I was thinking about this, like, when I was, like, the first time I became aware of, like, reading a geography book, and they go, do you know that the planet is, like, cooking? And I was like, what the hell? We got to do something about this. I'm in, like, 3rd class, you know, 4th class or something. And then I was like, how are the Green Party not the most popular party in Ireland? We need to be doing something about this. And then over the years, just becoming slowly disillusioned with the Green Party, where I'm like, they suck so much, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so much of green politics, by like design and climate stuff, it wears you down because of like, it just, you're just kind of, I thought that the student protests were very inspiring. And I remember when Naomi Klein came and visited, and she was promoting On Fire, the book, which I bought and didn't read. But the bits in it were like, you know, all of these issues are connected, you know, like you cannot. I think she brought up a clip of like somebody from, might have been Extinction Rebellion, who like stopped the underground while people were trying to get home, you know?
Yeah.
And she was like, that's a bad way to do that, you know? And the idea was that we are part of this system, and you might want to disrupt it, but you need to disrupt it in a way that brings everybody along with you, or by linking all of these things, because they just see a guy who's stopping the train and preventing them from getting home, you know?
Yeah.
I'm misremembering it. It was 2019 when I heard it, but like, you know what I'm saying? That kind of...
Well, this one with Extinction Rebellion, like, their reaction was understandable, you know, like, it's like that 3rd class thing, we're like, the world is ending, so let's freak out, you know what I mean? But they're like, horizons were way too limited.
Yeah.
Like, targeting the tube was not doing anything, whereas they like, what could they do? Shoot someone in the head, maybe. Or
I think so.
Blow up an oil tanker or something.
Yeah. Eco-terrorism at the very least.
Yeah. Like, they lacked a class analysis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You do realise that socialism is the only solution. Socialism
or barbarism. And the world says barbarism. They love it. They can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Corbyn article. So there was there's a journalist called Gabriel Pogrund, and he started like, just getting information now that Corbyn is bewildered and frustrated about Zara Sultana announcing that they were co-founding a party, okay? And then people online were basically kind of giving him a hard... He's like, because he writes for, what's the website here? The Sunday Times, you know, the Murdoch-owned press, okay? The Times, whatever. And people were like, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. You're a bad faith actor and so da. And then he releases this article, and it contains like text messages from the organizing group behind this party, like confirming a lot of what he was saying, you know? Now, obviously, his interpretation of it is going to be from a right-wing perspective that is trying to paint out, look at the fucking left, they're so disorganized, they can't even get this shit together, and they're handing a victory over to reform, which I allegedly hate, just because Nigel Farage looks like a fucking toad. Like, there's not really, anyway. So I was reading down through the article, and with the grain of salt and whatnot, but it was kind of striking to me. So the people who were involved is like, there's Jamie Driscoll, who was, I think I mentioned this to you before, maybe I even mentioned it in the last episode, where he ran for, there was like a mayoral position that was created up in the north, somewhere in like Manchester or something. I can't remember. I can't remember what it was. I'm not going to look it up. But ultimately, he was in the left in the party and he was a mayor already, and he wanted to run for like some sort of primary thing to try and get the nomination. And then I think that let me get it up so just in case I have it wrong. But I believe anyway they claimed that he was anti-Semitic, and that's why they couldn't select him to run for the mayor. And the reason he was anti-Semitic was because he had interviewed Ken Loach. And that was literally it.
Yeah.
You're fiddling around with the knobs a lot.
He shouldn't have done that.
Which?
Interview Ken Loach.
Yeah. I'm just wondering what your audio is going to sound like on the other end of this.
It's going to sound better.
Are you sure that your USB, once you unplug your USB microphone and plug it back in, that it's recording in the same device?
That's what I was just checking.
And is it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Here's the test. When I do this,
yeah.
Can you hear that?
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's the waveform looking like when you do that?
It looks mad and annoying.
Okay, cool. Then we're in business. But anyway, yeah, so he's mayor of North Tyne. He tried... Anyway, what he got... In June 2023, after interview by a panel of the National Executive Committee of the Labour Party, Driscoll was unsuccessful in progressing to a ballot of Labour Party members in the selection process to determine a Labour Party candidate for Mayor of the North East. Labour peer Jenny Chapman defended the decision as simply guaranteeing the highest quality candidates. Unite the Union and its General Secretary Sharon Graham criticised the decision to exclude Driscoll. Andy Burnham and Steve Rotherham described the Labour Party as undemocratic, opaque and unfair. So basically, anyway, he resigned from Labour and later announced that he would seek to be elected. He would just run as an independent, which he did, and he didn't win. But anyway, he's also like somebody who's part of this group, the group that includes a bunch of independents who were voted in because of their position on Gaza. And then also Andrew Feinstein, who ran against Keir Starmer in his constituency. And I don't know whether he came close to winning the seat, but he came closer than he should have to winning the seat of the leader of the Labour Party as they were going into a general election. And Andrew Feinstein is also a former member of Nelson Mandela's government. He used to be in the ANC, and he ran against Keir Starmer in his constituency on a pro-Gaza platform. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, so he's a Jewish man from South Africa who served in Nelson Mandela's government, who ran against Keir Starmer and was supporting Gaza. Okay? So it's like, with Zara Sultana, him, Jamie Driscoll, and then these independents, you got like the basis for a kind of like something to try and capture the moment of people who are angry and don't have a home and all these things. You remember Labour spokespeople referred to it as once the getting rid of the left wing of the party was shaking off the fleas. Okay.
Yeah.
And now all of these people are like, but if you do this, then you're going to hand the election to reform. This is crazy. I was like, you said you didn't need them. I guess just maybe win. You know what I mean? I guess just win, like you said that you were going to. And you did win. And you got everything you wanted. And now the Labour government that you voted for and you endorsed and you said was going to be better is, like worse when it comes to Gaza, because they prescribe Palestine Action as a terrorist group. They are taking like money away from pensioners, from the disabled, from children. They're doing like mad austerity and refuse to tax billionaires and are just incredibly uninspiring, and everybody hates them. Okay. So anyway, now is the time to start getting together some sort of alternative to them and try to challenge this system, especially when you've seen how Reform are doing. So anyway, what this article goes on to confirm is that all of these guys are just kind of like, we need to do something, we need to start something. And then Corbyn is like, no, we need to wait a bit and figure this out. And they're like, we need to stop waiting. We need to get on with this shit, okay? And what we need to do is have Zara Sultana, the new young up and coming person, and then you, the legacy person, to co-lead the founding of a new party. And he was like, no, I don't believe in co-leaders. We need to have one singular leader, and it has to be me, unfortunately, because I have the most name recognition, okay?
Okay.
And then they were like, let's vote on it then. And according to Corbyn's, the Corbyn camp of this party, of this fledgling party, they held the vote in a very unfair way that happened super quickly, and then they just passed it to suit their own favor. Now, whether you believe that or not, I don't know. It's possible, okay? But then
this is the Corbyn camp?
No, the other guys.
Oh, right, okay.
Sultana and her crowd were like, let's get this out of the way as quickly as possible. Oh, who eyes have it? Let's go. And so then she put up her post and it started to get a load of traction. And then Corbyn was mad about it and was asking her to delete it. Take down the post that now has millions of views.
Yeah, you can't be taking it down.
No. And then eventually they were like, can you like just make some sort of statement backing her? But like, here's the thing now, not a nice, whatever, your mileage may vary on this guy. Aaron Bastani of Navarra Media. I was watching Navarra analysis of this for my sins. And, but one of the things that he said, which I was in complete agreement with, he was like, he's like, I don't really care about like the internal squabbles or anything that's happening. But if you have anybody in your camp who will brief the Murdoch press, you need to get rid of them immediately, regardless of anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just thought like how reflective that was of the whole Corbyn project to begin with. These people who are actively trying to destroy you, and you keep them in the party and also give them positions that could potentially come back to bite you in the arse, like Keir Starmer, okay? Like, it's...
Well, does Keir Starmer have a position in Corbyn?
Yeah, he was like Brexit secretary.
Was he?
Yeah.
I think we've been talking about Corbyn. I think he does lack a killer instinct. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've always said, he's the one who's come closest to being Prime Minister. But at the end of the day, he's not a shark. You know what I mean?
No. But this sort of softly thing is it's just malpractice at this point, is what I would say. As in, like, there's only so many times you can do that where it's like, everybody is really fucking angry and we need to take advantage of the moment. Well, hang on. Okay? Let's figure this out. Let's talk about, like, how much more fucking figuring out do we need doing here? How many times do we have to get our ass kicked, We need action. We need something happening. And then the fact is that Corbyn's... It's not like Zara Sultana's crew is going to be briefing the Murdoch press that a vote didn't go their way. It's an ally of Corbyn who did that, okay?
Probably,
so the fact that that's his fucking camp, okay? So that's the part where I'm suddenly like, no, fuck that. Fuck Corbyn in that way. Sorry, I hate to be like that because, the guy's been through a lot and I have a lot of time and respect for him. But it's just like, we need to cut you loose, man, because you're doing us no favors at this moment in time. We need something new. This can't go on,
Yeah, like I'm glad to see people leaving Labour. Yeah. I always felt they should have started leaving, like, as soon as Corbyn got shafted, Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Like, the whole party, there's a whole, like, permanent... what's the group called? They're like the permanent staff of the Labour Party. that operate nearly on a wavelength like the civil servant.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, like a kind of party bureaucrat, basically.
Yeah, like they're always going to be against anyone remotely similar to Corbyn. So, like, it's good to see. I think it is good to see people leaving because you're just not going to win that party.
Yeah. But like, it's funny that my uncle was like, he doesn't like Corbyn at all, and he worked. My uncle who lives in London, and he was involved in like. He would have known Jeremy Corbyn, like he would have met him a number of times because he would have organised in the same circles. But I remember my uncle saying, he's a fucking narcissist, okay? And I was like, that doesn't sound like the Corbyn I know. And then when you see this thing where it's like, no, I think there should be one leader and it should be me. And, you know, you're just kind of like, you need to hand the reins over, man. This can't go on. like, you know.
I know. I think that like we looked it up on the abandoned episode. He's 76.
Yeah.
It's too old.
Yeah. I think it's just...
Time to go out to stud.
I think also, like, you know, you had your shot and you missed, okay? And you got fucked. And now we need your name and your legacy, and you need to allow this person to come up and you step aside so that the new hotness can take over, do you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's not... It's very similar to the Democratic Party, isn't it, really?
Nancy Reagan. Nancy
Pelosi, yeah. Might as well be Reagan.
Yeah. It's just, I think I'd love to look inside Corbyn's head, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bloody empty. Says you.
Says you.
Yeah, like 76 is just too old.
Yeah. I
think he did well. Peace and love.
I also think he's too attached to like the idea of Labour as it once existed, do you know?
Yeah, like he had to get ejected from Labour.
Yeah.
Like thrown out.
Yeah. Like even in July last year when the elections were happening, he wasn't sure whether he was going to be running as the Labour candidate. He was still asking them, do you know? It's like,
you have to
come
ask,
on, man, you know? Come on.
So my dad used to talk about pub owners, and they'd be like, there's our lads who would run a pub. They just never leave, you know?
Yeah.
Even when they were like way too old, and it just didn't make sense for them to be running the pub, and it was bad for everybody. Corbyn's a bit like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta leave.
Is it like, I'm just saying, is it like one of those psychic operations that I've heard so much about?
No,
it's not. It's not. But I'm just saying, like, it's at this point, it's almost like imperceptible when they have that much dysfunction, you know? Like,
I was going to say the phrase isn't psychic operation.
Okay, what is it?
Psychological.
Oh, man, psychic operations. They're probably doing that as well, ain't they? Trying to blow up goats or something. Yeah. Psychic.
Tell the future on that.
See, nice save by me. I just kind of went straight past whatever you were. I don't look foolish now, is what I'm saying, because I owned it, you know?
Never do, man.
Thanks. So yeah, that was just a follow up on that. Just that kind of, I was fascinated by it. The next item. What do you make of somebody you're saying? Here's an item on the news. Brian Stanley has called on all opposition parties to support Deputy Catherine Connolly as a presidential candidate.
Yeah, I think she's good. I think she's, in one way, it'd be a shame to lose her from.
Well, this is what I wanted to talk about. What do you think about the presidency versus just an average, just one TD? It's like, I actually think one TD is more important to me. One TD on the left is way more important to me than the presidency.
I do like how Michael D. Higgins speaks out though. You know? Like, it was good that I think people listened to Michael D. And then I think he annoyed Fine Gael as well.
Yeah. Yeah, like
and
everybody.
I feel like Catherine Connolly would do the same.
That is true, but she wouldn't. I don't think she wouldn't be able to make as much of a difference. In the discourse, maybe, but like in actual stuff that affects people's lives, I'm not so sure.
What age is she?
27 years old she is. 27 years old, ladies and gentlemen.
We're like bloody 72.
She is. Doll. I'm gonna say she's 67. That's my guess at that now.
I'm gonna say she's 110.
67 on the dot. Come on.
That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that is good.
I think that's the right age to run for president. If I'm honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When is the election?
November?
Look it up. Get that Google machine going.
Hey man, let's go down to the public library and figure it out. Just kidding. We can look it up on our computers. There's a clip that I was obsessed with. I looked it up and it wasn't as I built it up in my mind over the years. But Sherry Shepherd on The View is basically says she's like a creationist or something. And then Whoopi Goldberg is like kind of trying to have a pop at her, you know? And she goes, do you think the earth is round? And then she goes, I don't know, Whoopi. And then they go, you can't just say that the earth is round. And then they go, what would you say? No, she goes, I'm too busy raising my kids about whether to figure out whether the earth is round.
That's such a great answer.
Yeah, and then they were like, well, what if your kid asked you if the earth was round? She goes, I'd say, let's go down the public library and look it up. And they're like, can't you just tell them that the earth is round?
I know you got to talk about the one of DMX using the computer.
I haven't seen that.
And it's in like 2005. It's really late. And he's like, what the heck? Like, he's like flipping out because I was like showing him an email and stuff.
Yeah. That's one of the best names an album ever had. You know his first one? It's dark and hell is hot, or hell is cold. What's that one?
I don't know. I listened to one song.
His cover of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That was a fucking banger. It's dark and hell is hot. That's what the name of his album was.
That is good. He's an insane performer.
Yeah, he's mental. He was. R.I.P. Pour one out to a real one. Oh, I guess I'll get cancelled now along with Lena Dunham for using that rap talk.
Yeah.
11th of November, 2025. Remember to vote for Conor McGregor. Number one.
Yeah. I
just got distracted there because they were like, a post you liked, I just got a community note. Wait until you hear what the post is, that it is, okay? Chris Pratt is announcing that he's going to be in Garfield 2, okay?
Yeah.
And the way that he announced it was he brought in a pizza and opened it up and written on it was Garfield 2. So some guy went, Garfield's famous food, pizza. And I just liked that, okay? And I swear the community note reads, despite lasagna being famously associated with the cat, he eats pizza far more, with it being the second most prominent food featured in the strip after cookies. Food/drink by appearances. And then they have a bunch of links to like, here is all the times that cookies, pizza, coffee, donuts, pies, cake, and lasagna appeared.
Is that from Grok?
Grok's gotten racist now. Well, gotten racist.
It's gotten racist in two ways, because there's obviously like his own.
Yeah.
But then like Elon Musk keeps trying to hardwire responses in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then sometimes it'll be like, someone will be like, is Elon really stupid or something? You know, something like that. And then the response will be like, no, I'm not. And it's like obvious that Elon.
I also like, we're giving it way too much credit to be like oh, the thing is like sentient and somehow becoming racist. It's like, I was like, isn't it like a language model? And the language model is just like, here are the words that, most often appear after these other words, after I've consulted these directories of words and whatever. You know what I mean? So like it'll just in a second go through like all of this information and writing that's out there. And then basically just some of these will be like, I don't know, consensus takes or opinions. That's why they're usually good for writing CVs, because all CVs are so similar, So then you have one that's like programmed by Musk, and then it's like, oh, this thing is racist. I was like, it's not programmed by him, but like he has influence over it. And so it's like, yeah, of course, the thing that is owned by this South African billionaire, it's just a few words away from saying something racist or anti-Semitic, It's just like...
nobody says anti-Semitic things.
Yeah.
Did you see one? And it was talking about... It wasn't Epstein. It was some Jewish left guy in America.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, what's the story of this guy, Grok? And then Grok's response ended with, and of course, he's one of those people.
Yeah.
Someone was like, what does that mean? And he goes, it's a common phrase to denote how often Jewish intellectuals are associated with the left.
Yeah.
And the effect they have on the world.
Well, they weren't. I heard this just recently. It was a woman called Ashley Feinberg, I believe. But like she was tweeting out celebrating the children dying in that flood down in Texas.
Yes.
Because their parents were probably Trump supporters. Cool. Not cool that those kids died. Cool. James held something up to the camera for me to see. A little owl. But so they were like, yeah, she's like a left winger, and you know what they're like, and we know what I want. And I was like, yeah, just that they make up 2% of the population, and yet somehow they're in Holly weird and fucking law. They have a disproportionate influence on politics. And then somebody goes like, well, who do you think like would best like represent these politics that you're talking about? And like, interesting question. I think Adolf Hitler. So just starts going on about how great Adolf Hitler is. And so that was like, but like part of that is like, again, you're drawing from the words of all of these fucking edgelords who just say this stuff. And then the irony has become like, I don't know, just embraced to the point where it's not even ironic anymore. Like when he gave like the Nazi salute over in the...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he did it because like, wouldn't it be funny to freak out the normies doing this? And then going, yeah, actually, but I've started to do a bit of reading and I'm starting to like believe this stuff.
Yeah. It makes sense that Jews are lawyers.
Yeah. Well, like I'm not joking. Finkelstein did say this. He was like, I went to the same school as Bernie Sanders and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Okay. And he's just kind of making the observation that like when these people made it to America and after making it through the camps, they're like, or like whatever, just out of Europe and in a time now where the Jewish diaspora are just completely decimated. They're like, You're going to go to the new world, air quotes, and you're going to make like a better life for yourself. And, it was a stereotype because it was true. This kind of encouraged to go into these jobs like, lawyer, accountant, all of these things which are prestigious jobs that make a load of money,
Yeah, but with law, they say the study of the Talmud and the Torah is like a legal study in a lot of ways. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
Like, the way you always see it online, some Jewish guy, and he's like, this is they got them like Shabbat lamps and stuff. You ever seen these? Yeah. They're like, you're not allowed to light a fire on the Sabbath. So they have this light that's constantly on, and then you essentially open it. You like lift the cover off it.
Yeah.
And all the comments are like, oh, that's cheating.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, for most Jews, it's not cheating. It's like, it's just like a legal interpretation.
Yeah. You know that Martin Scorsese's dad, the way he made his money was on the Sabbath, he would go over to their house, Jewish people's houses and turn on the lights,
Really?
Yeah. So but then there'd be people going like, no, that's against the spirit of the thing. You shouldn't be hiring that guy. You should be in the darkness or something. I don't know. It's like they would turn on their stoves. That was it. And then the stove would be on like the whole day,
Right, yeah.
So it's just funny to think about that. Yeah. Like that. It is interesting when you say it, because it does feel like maybe you are getting a grounding in stuff that would be important in law, reading very dense texts and trying to parse, like, well, can I do this? Can I not do this?
Yeah. Yeah, be good life.
Yeah. And you can head over to Israel whenever you freaking want, get a free house.
Read one on Airbnb. Did you see that? Did you see the journal published something? It was like the companies related to Ireland that are most involved in Israel or something.
Yeah.
Off the Airbnb, what's at the top?
Yeah. And there's like a Palestinian man who some Israeli guy is renting his house out on Airbnb. Was that it? Or
yeah.
No?
Yeah, that was it.
Was it?
But it,
okay.
But it was the listing was available in Ireland or something like that.
Right. I'm trying to look it up. God, it is fucking hot today, brother. And I suppose now I'm going to get cancelled again for...
Yeah.
Get it? Yeah. All right.
Or something.
Activists legally challenge Garda decision not to probe Airbnb business in Israeli settlements. Activists have launched a legal challenge. Okay. Irish, Palestinian, human rights and legal activists have launched a judicial review on foot of the decision by the Garda's Economic Crime Division last year. It seeks to review whether the correct decision-making processes were followed. The decision followed a complaint by Irish, Palestinian human rights and legal activists in August 2023, who alleged that the Irish subsidiary of the firm is money laundering under Irish law. The Ireland-Palestine Alliance, SADCA, and the Global Legal Action Network accused Airbnb Ireland of being in breach of Irish money laundering offences, claiming that its parent company allows settlers to list properties in occupied Palestinian territories. So it's not what I said at all. You said that it was... I said, is it this? And you confirmed it. And it's not that at all.
I wasn't listening.
Okay. Have you seen ContraPoint's stuff post?
I've got a headline here. I think you'll like it.
All right.
So the Irish Times, our favourite publication.
Yeah.
They published this article, an opinion piece. Maybe you saw this. And they did that Irish Times thing. It's a common enough thing, I suppose, where they changed the headline. Right,
yeah.
But normally the way they change it to something less inflammatory.
Yeah.
The original one was the hidden social cohesion behind bonfire season.
Wow.
Right, that was it. But you could say that, like, just because there is cohesion, even if you don't like. They changed it to some see July 12th bonfires as sectarian. For others, they're about social cohesion.
That's crazy thing to say. Who says that? Who wrote that article?
Amanda Delina Morse.
Don't know her. Whereas James is looking for Amanda hug and kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see ContraPoints? Will we read it? Let's read that.
Yeah, I'm flicking through it, see if there's anything in it.
There was Go to patreon.com/CelticLigers to hear the rest, where the Ligers read about how racist bonfires might actually be good. Meta trains an AI by traumatizing subcontractors. And a landlord feels bad about absolutely having to evict 4 families because he won't be able to charge as much rent as he'd like, and the Irish Examiner decided he deserved a whole column to himself.